There's a big development planned for the Eastern Prom in Portland, but developers are finding themselves on bumpy tracks with the Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad. The Prentice organization is the developer that owns the area surrounding both the railroad and the waterfront. And the organization's CEO says narrow gauge's wrapped train cars sitting along the tracks is not the image they want to project for the development. But staff at the railroad say the cars are right where they belong. Here's Raya Wooten.
When you look at the train cars and they're wrapped, what does this look like to you in a vibrant area like this?
I think it's unfortunate. The train cars are gorgeous.
Right now, Maine Narrow Gauge's train cars are sitting on tracks alongside the Eastern Promenade Trail, and some of them are covered for storage. But developers from the Prentice organization say they want the train cars unwrapped and moved further down the tracks.
To have the train cars wrapped up, I think is, I would say, a marketing fail, if nothing else, for the Maine Narrow Gauge.
As the CEO of the Prentice organization and the developer of the 10-acre mixed-use development project coming to the Eastern Promenade waterfront and trail in Portland, Casey Prentice says he wants the area to look up to par. He says the covered train cars aren't appealing. After months of construction that started in January, he says there's now a more clear view of the bay and improved trails. Now they move on to the next phases of the commercial development, building housing and a hotel. Prentice says to prepare the area for construction, developers had to move the Maine Narrow Gauge's railroad tracks closer to the water, forcing the nonprofit to temporarily shut down operations during the off-season and making the working relationship between the Prentice organization and the railroad rocky. They also got rid of a train car storage unit Maine Narrow Gauge had used for years for free with permission from Prentice.
They knew, of course, that it was going to get taken down.
Now that the storage unit is gone, Prentice says he wants the train cars moved, and he suggested a new location. But attorneys for Maine Narrow Gauge say moving the trains is just another big ask from developers and one that doesn't work for them.
They moved their building next to the railroad tracks, brick by brick, intentionally, knowingly, and obviously thinking about what was going to be between the building and whatever else anyone could see. There's only so much we can do. We've moved the tracks for them. We've shut down for months for them. Eventually, we have no other place to go. We had a storage space. They wanted to build a hotel on it. Their decision.
In Portland, Raya Wooten, News Center, Maine.
So Tony Buxton, the attorney for Maine Narrow Gauge, who you just heard from, says the location that the developer suggested as a new place to house the train cars puts them at risk for vandalism and weather damage. He says the railroad is open to hearing other options.